look, I was 20 something and dumb too. And his potential and his upside, everybody can see it. I mean, he's going to win races. He's going to be a champion someday. And my job is to help make sure that that's at Spire Motorsports in one of our cars. There's an opportunity for us to go down there and win. We feel that. We know that pressure. We've lived that pressure before.
I haven't looked at the layout. Is there a corner at Mexico City like turn one at Indy?
Yeah, turn one at Indy is turn one at Mexico.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. Oh,
Uh,
no. Well, not only are you one of the few drivers in Sunday's field who have actually raced at Autodromos Hermanos Rodriguez, you've actually won there circa 2005. What do you remember about that event all those years ago, Michael?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it was a great weekend for me. I was racing in the IMSA Sports Car Series with Mamo Gidley as my teammate, driving for Finlay Motorsports, and I was also racing IndyCar that weekend, Champ Car for Rocket Sports. So a double header, and that was a lot of fun. Going back and forth from practice and qualify from sports cars to Indy cars, and prototypes are fast. I mean, they're fast cars, but you get out of an Indy car and you jump in a prototype and you're like, man, this thing is slow. And so, I sat on the pole and won the race with Mamo and I on Saturday in the sports cars. And then Sunday ran the Indy car race. And I don't remember where I finished. I finished 10th, I think, 10th or 11th. But here's my only claim to fame. I beat Will Power. Okay. And he turned out to be a really, really good open wheel guy. We actually debuted the same weekend in Surfers Paradise 2 weeks before the Mexico City. So yeah, we went different paths, but I think it worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a great weekend, great city, great racetrack. The fans there are just awesome. It's so cool. I remember Mario Dominguez was racing in the IndyCar race there, and he was like a superstar. I mean, and guys like Michelle Jourdain and Luis Diaz and Adrian Fernandez, like those guys were bigger than life. So I can't even fathom what it's going to be like for Daniel Suarez this weekend. I mean, it's just going to be
Yeah.
so amazing. But just the fans were just awesome and electric, and it's a fun weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, as you know, road courses are my thing, right? And so we know that there's an opportunity for us to go down there and win. We feel that. We know that pressure. We've lived that pressure before. But I'm going to enjoy the experience because, as we know, this is the first time for the Cup Series. It's not, that often that you get to do something new and go international and have an opportunity to kind of come to grips with a new surface and a new racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, on that note, that was 2005. We're talking. I'm not sure if you've driven the track since then, but I'm sure you've done sim work, obviously, recently. Like, how is the track different, or what's going to be the most challenging conditions? Will it be the track? Will it be the elevation? Like, what's different about Mexico City than your average NASCAR race?
Yeah, I think the track is very straightforward. I'm not saying it's easy because it's got technical aspects. It's got, S's that are more of a rhythm and flowy. But it's a proper road course. I mean, it's very clear, the track and, the line and what you need to do. The tricky part, like you said, is, the altitude for sure. Hard on drivers, hard on brakes, hard on engines, just hard on cooling in general. And it's new for everybody, right? And so when you go to a new track, it doesn't matter if it's Mexico or it was, the Indy road course. That first time, there's always more mistakes as people are finding the limit, pushing the limit. So that always creates opportunities. And so I feel like this is one of those weekends where having a road racing foundation and background helps. It helps guys like SVG and AJ and myself. And there's other great Cup drivers that adapt to road courses really quickly too. Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch. I mean, you can go down the list of them. They're all really good at it. But it's different when it's brand new, right? And you got to
Yeah.
adapt quickly. We do have practices sessions down there, which I know guys are looking forward to. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was just the 20 minutes and go. But that's just my own selfish reasons, right? But I feel like it's going to be a great weekend to enjoy a new experience, and for us, it's an opportunity to try to go get a win.
And on that note about practice, I mean, you're almost halfway through your first season now with Spire Motorsports, but this should be a great opportunity for you and your crew chief to really work together, hands-on at the racetrack, making big swings, big adjustments to the car. You spent years at Front Row Motorsports. Many said you really helped build that team into, more of a contender. What's it been like so far? 16 weeks in, whatever it is, adjusting to a new team Inspire.
I think it's been great. I've enjoyed it. I think we're building it into a contender as well. I think there was a lot of people that, kind of doubted and questioned, why would I do that? And this is where you're at's going good. And you know what I mean? But I
Mm-hmm.
saw that there was opportunity to build something special. And I think that we're doing that. It's taking more time than I, had hoped, but it's not realistic, right? It's going to take time. But I feel like we're, like you were talking about, we have the speed week in and week out, and we haven't put it all together, but that will come together because we know how to do that. It's just a matter of putting it together in the time. And then this weekend in particular, with having the practice sessions, and like you talked about, you can try different packages and you can try different philosophies, and that's not something we get to do every weekend. And that will be helpful because we have road courses coming up that it will apply. It will apply down the road to Sonoma and to Watkins Glen and to Chicago Street Course. So there's a few things that we definitely are going to work through that we want to try. Might not be good at all, right? But the good news is we can take it out and we can make those changes, and we're not locked into, what you show up with is what you have to race, kind of like we have majority of the weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a good opportunity for us.
Absolutely. Well, you talk about the speed. I mean, Spire Motorsports has shown great speed this year. 71, you guys have been up front and in contention. I mean, the 77, I know you've worked with a lot of younger drivers. You've been teammates with younger drivers throughout your career. John Hunter Nemechek, Todd Gillen. Carson Hocevar, a lot of folks are talking about him. He's getting a lot of time up front, a lot of good TV time. What what have you seen from Carson in your short time working closely with him, and where do you think he excels, or maybe where does he still need to improve because he is still so young?
Yeah, I think that, the biggest thing is he's just fast. I mean, he just has a lot of speed. Um, and he races well. He's aggressive. He gets through traffic well, like he passes well. I would say that those are his strengths. And I think a lot of it has to do with just that continuity that he has with Luke Lambert. They were
Mm,
starting to get some good results at the end of last year and running top 10 pretty consistently. And they just have stayed in their groove, and they've just continued to progress and get better and better. And so, but he's got a tremendous amount of talent, tremendous amount of speed, and that's what you want, right? I mean, that's what you want. That's what you need. I think that Justin Haley honestly does as well. I think we're just not seeing it yet because, just like my situation, it's all new, and he's working with a new crew chief. We had
yeah.
a crew chief swap. I don't even want to call it mid-season, but a quarter way through the season. So there's a lot of things that he's still figuring out and getting used to, and figuring out what he needs in the car. And every driver is different, and every driver setup usually is a little bit different. It doesn't matter if you're at, Hendrick Motorsports or Team Penske or Joe Gibbs Racing, they all want something a little different. And so it's just taking a little bit more time to see that speed. And as far as what does he still have to learn? I mean, everything. He's 20 some odd years old, right? He's just he hasn't even lived life yet. And so all those things that maybe are talked about in the media or people are caught off by and all that, I'm just always like, look, I was 20 something and dumb too. And some things you just have to learn on your own, and have some time. And some things, are taught too. And so we've had those conversations on, how I would handle things and how I'd approach things. But make no mistakes about it, like, he's fast and I am studying him. And yes, there are things that I think that we do differently, but he is fast. And so we are excited to have, that much speed. And if you listen to Denny Hamlin, or you listen to Kyle Larson, you listen to any of these guys, you're constantly learning, evolving, growing, and getting better. It's never something where you're, like, oh, I've arrived. I'm really good at this. that doesn't last in a Cup Series. It's just too hard. You got to keep pushing yourself, and you got to keep evolving as a driver. And so, having a fast teammate, having two fast teammates, helps me to do that as well. Um, but they are different. They're different. I mean, Carson's for sure different than Todd Gillen. I mean, they're 180 degrees different personalities. John Hunter Nemechek and Carson had a lot of similarities as far as some of the things that they did on the racetrack and restarts and putting guys in compromising positions. And I saw that work well for him, and I saw that not work well for him. Carson hasn't lived the not work well for him yet, and I hope that he doesn't. And I'm able to share those experiences myself and other teammates that I've had that have had to live it. And so, yeah, but it's all part of the process, and it's part of the growing process. And I think that his potential and his upside, everybody can see it. I mean, he's going to win races. He's going to be a champion someday. And my job is to help make sure that that's at Spire Motorsports in one of our cars, and that we're giving him all the tools to be able to do that. And if I got to run second to him, I don't want to. But if we can have our cars run one, two, three, somebody's got to win. And if we do that week in and week out, we'll all win races and we'll all be in contention. And that's what you see, right? You see it at Hendrick, you see it at Team Penske right now, you see it at Joe Gibbs Racing. I mean, there's always a standout. There's always somebody that is standing out. But Kyle Larson might win 6 races, but William Byron's going to win 3, and Chase Elliott's going to win 2, and Alex Bowman's going to win 1 or 2, and they're going to all be in the contention for a championship. And I think
Yeah.
that that's where our goal is. That's where we want to get. We're not there yet, but that's where we're pushing forward.
It's still early. That's the good
Yeah.
thing. That's the good news there. Well, that's fascinating. Michael, I know it's a short week, having to travel down to Mexico City. I know you have pit practice coming up, so I won't keep you much
Yeah.
longer. I got one oh yeah, there you go. You're on location. Okay.
Yeah. On
I've got,
location.
I've got one final question for you, though, and it's Mexico City related. You mentioned it earlier. You've won a road course in the Cup Series a couple of years ago at Indianapolis. You've raced sports cars. You've raced open wheel. All these road courses coming up. Drivers I know hate talking about points racing. So what is your outlook? Is it go win? What is your outlook for this next month or so with all these right and left hand
So
turns?
it's so challenging to explain, but hopefully I can articulate it well. Is when it comes to road course strategy, and when it comes to winning a road course race, in order to do that, you have to compromise stage points. You just have to. And that's
Yeah.
why you see guys pitting with 2 to go before the end of the stage. They pit with 2 to go. They get their tires, they get their fuel, they cycle to the front for the next stage, and they keep doing that, right? And that's why I was such a proponent of the no stage breaks at road courses. And if you go back to that year, not only is it the year that we won at Indy, but we scored 70 more points just in stage points because we qualified up front. We led a lot of the race and we won the stages. And you can't do that. Even this weekend, you're going to pit and you're going to give up that track position. You're going to give up those points. And so you're leaving, potentially 20 points on the table, and that's hard to do. But if you want to win the race, that's what you have to do. And so when we look at the road courses, we look at them as we have to go win the race. We're not worried about points. I say that as we're always worried about points. We want to score as much as we can. We want to get the most points you can every weekend, but we're not going to compromise the race finish for points. Where maybe at Pocono you would, or at other places you would, because you don't feel like you might have race winning pace to do that. For us, that's not really an option at these road courses, unless we qualify 15th and we're just slow, right? If we qualify 15th and we're running 10th, yeah, we'll stay out and we'll get the stage points, right? And that's what a lot of guys do. But for us, we feel like we have to win. If you win, it's 2,000 points. That's what I always say. Like, yeah, we're 30 behind or 40 behind the cutoff right now. If you win, it's 2,000. That's what you get for winning, 2,000 points, right? You're in the playoffs. And so you start over. And that's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that I focus on. And if you run well, you'll get points. And if you run well everywhere, you'll get stage points. But the road courses, it's harder to get stage points and win the race.
Yeah, no, that's I think you articulated that very well. I think fans will pretty quickly come to realize that trade-off. I'm with you though about getting rid of the stage cautions at road courses. That year was refreshing for that season. They tried it. Would love to see
Well,
them
I
bring it
ruined
back.
it. I ruined it.
Yeah.
That Indy race went caution free, right?
Yeah. It was still a
And
fun race though. I
it
enjoyed
was a
it.
great race. I
Yeah.
mean, Chase Elliott was on me the whole time. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I liked it. Obviously, I liked it for selfish reasons because I scored a lot of points and I
Yeah.
won. Like that's the hard thing. You build a lead and you get out in front of everybody, and then you got a stage break and everybody's bunched up, and then somebody bonsais it in there 3 wide on a restart, and
Is
now
there
you're fifth.
is there a corner I haven't looked at the layout. Is there a corner at Mexico City like turn 1 at Indy?
Yeah, turn one at Indy is turn one at
Oh
Mexico. Yeah.
shoot. Oh no.
But maybe a little cleaner because there's more runoff.
Okay.
But it's the same. If
Oh
anything, it's
gosh.
faster. So yeah.
All right. Wow. Well, appreciate your time today, Michael.
Thanks.
Good luck
Appreciate it.
this weekend at Mexico City. Good luck the rest of the season. We'll catch up again sometime soon.
Thanks. Bye bye.